Good evening, opposing counsels. Good evening, Your Honor, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is Andrew Harris. This is my co-counsel, Robert Neighbor. Together, we're here to present to you the case of the state versus Mr. Pat Hopper. And we represent the defense of Mr. Pat Hopper today. As this is a criminal case, let me remind you that your vote must be unanimous in order to convict my client, Pat Hopper. And as this is a criminal case, the state has the burden of proof today. They must prove to you, beyond a reasonable doubt, that Pat Hopper is guilty of the crimes charged against him. Ladies and gentlemen, they retain that burden of proof throughout the entire case. And as this is a criminal case, if there is any reasonable doubt in your mind at the conclusion, then you must return a verdict of not guilty. Now, what the burden of proof basically means for my co-counsel and I is that we don't have to prove anything to you. And we don't have to prove anything to you because right now my client is cloaked in the presumption of innocence. He is presumed to be innocent right now. He was presumed to be innocent when the state delivered their opening, and he will still be presumed to be innocent at the conclusion of this case. Ladies and gentlemen, it is only until and unless you deliver a unanimous verdict of guilty that he is no longer presumed to be innocent. Now, we may not have to prove anything to you, but my co-counsel and I are still here for a reason. We are here to tell you about Mr. Pat Hopper. Pat Hopper's a kid. He's a student at Metropolitan High School. He's probably a lot like the kids you know. Just like me, and probably just like you, and the kids you know. He struggles with some things, and he excels at other things. He's not a great student. He's made some stupid mistakes. But ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that makes Pat Hopper special is that he is an excellent basketball player. He is fantastic on the court, and ladies and gentlemen, he is a fantastic teammate on the Metropolitan High School varsity team. In fact, he's so good that he's been offered a scholarship to Metropolitan University. You will hear from our witness, Coach Jamie Ringer, about the specifics of this scholarship and about the relationship she's built with Pat Hopper over the past year. Ultimately, you will hear about Pat Hopper's character. Now, like I said, Pat Hopper's a kid and he's made some mistakes. Unfortunately, on June 11, 2010, he entered the home of the Wilsons, the home of his math teacher and his math teacher's spouse. He was there to return a math test, which he had kept after class that day, because he wanted extra time on the test, because he was concerned about how he was doing. He was concerned about how the test was going to affect his scholarship. Unfortunately, as a result of this, Pat Hopper has been charged not only with criminal trespass, but with burglary, theft, and even bias theft. Now, you will hear from our witness, Officer Chris Chanko. He was the investigating officer at 65 Newton Avenue that day, at the home of the Wilsons. He will tell you that Pat Hopper cooperated and came willingly. He will tell you that no stolen items were reported at the scene of the investigation. And finally, you will hear from Pat Hopper himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Hopper has a legal right not to testify to you today, but he's going to take the stand. And he's going to tell you why he was there at 65 Newton Avenue. He's going to tell you what he intended to do there, and he's going to tell you what he did do there. And ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to tell you that he is innocent of burglary, he is innocent of theft, and that he is innocent of bias theft. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Pat Hopper could lose a lot today. His scholarship is on the line. If he is convicted of burglary, theft, or bias theft, he loses this one opportunity he has to go to college, to play basketball at the college level, to live out his passion. But unlike basketball, today is not a game. Today is very serious for Pat Hopper. Today you must ask yourself the question, am I going to seal away the life of this promising young student athlete on the evidence which is presented to me today? Ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that when you hear this trial, you will not. Now, at the conclusion of this case, my co-counsel, Robert Maber, will deliver a closing statement, and he will ask you to return a verdict of not guilty. And finally, I would like to thank you for your time and your consideration in the deliberation of this case. Thank you, Your Honors.